I just think it's funny, like that you just said that right now, though.
So
because, like that, like for example, you're 30, 31, 30, 31. Okay. And
we don't take offense to age. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys like are generally where we're at right now because there's like this guy that's like about your age, and it's like we're on the. It's funny because like when I talk to him, I feel like he's my age, and he's like not looking for anything serious, and it's like, why aren't you looking for anything serious? You're like 10 years older than me, and like you don't want to settle down. He's like, I mean, like if it comes to me, you know, eventually, like I wouldn't be opposed to the idea, but it's not something.
He's giving a politically correct answer.
Yeah, like I'm not opposed to the idea, but it's not something I'm looking for. And I'm like, exactly, like it's not something you guys are looking for right now.
Well, here's the thing. Think about. Oh, you know what? Let's use the candy store analogy.
Yeah, candy store.
Because this is the best way that I can explain it. Because women really don't understand this
concept.
concept.
Us like we're 5-year-olds, please.
Don't worry. I'm gonna make it easy right now. So imagine that there's a candy store. Okay, women are allowed to go into this candy store as soon as they turn 18. Have all the candy they want free of charge. Men, however, are not allowed in this candy store until they're 35 years old, have $100,000, and they've developed themselves in a gym, right? So you guys get, let's say, almost a 20-year head start in the candy store, right? You're in the candy store, you're eating all the candy you want, whatever. At some point, that candy isn't going to be as valuable. You've already kind of had your fill. You can
get it whenever you want.
You can get it whenever you want. So you only want the best candy, right? 10 years of doing that. Now you're like, okay, I don't want the chocolate anymore. I'm just getting like this particular candy. This is what I want. Now, 10, 15 years later, now the men are allowed in this candy store. What do you think is going to happen when they're allowed in this candy store?
They're going to do the same shit we were just doing.
Exactly. They're going to go fucking nuts. They're going to be even eating all the disgusting Tootsie Rolls, the freaking Twizzlers, all these other gross candies. Meanwhile, you guys are going to be looking at them like, yo, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? Chill. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
Right? But what you guys don't understand is that you guys were allowed into the candy store at 18, whereas the men had to fight, save, and claw to get into that same candy store.
And they've been looking for all these years.
When my friends date like 19-year-olds, I always look at them like,
yeah. And that's why, because the thing is this, ladies, I'm just going to have to say it. Women are born with value. Men must create their value.
Oh, man, I agree with that.
So when a man has to create his value,
I like that.
right? When he has to create his value, why the fuck should he settle on only you when he can have so many others? When he's had to work to get himself to that position. And that's why I tell guys all the time, if you make money and you're successful, it is disrespectful to not only yourself and biology to date one girl because she didn't have to earn that sexual abundance. You did. She's getting what she wants with the security that you're providing her. And that's why I tell women all the time, you got to be content with sharing a man that's higher value and understanding that you just want to be his top girl that he actually provides for. Him smashing other girls isn't what you should be worried about. What you should be worried about is when he pays other girls and starts paying for their lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's when you're on rocky waters.
Funny that we're talking about this because the guy, for example, that I was just talking about said the same thing. And I'm there like, bro, what? Like, it makes sense because if you have the money to provide for multiple women, you're going to do it. If you have the ability to have 5 Lambos, are you going to have 5 fucking Lambos?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, the fuck
exactly.
you are.
Ladies,
she got it.
Why wouldn't you have 5 Lambos?
The concept of monogamy is a female, it's a female trait.
So why on the chat some guy brought up that Judeo-Christian households have the highest like levels of happiness
because
those are monogamous households
because women derive here's the thing, like the happiness doesn't come from her man being monogamous. The happiness comes from the security in the children.
Exactly.
I have to say I grew up very, very religious, and my parents, everybody that I've seen who got married within 2 weeks, they don't know each other. They get engaged and they get married. They have very happy marriages. Yeah. And they've never touched a woman before they got married. And it's very like...
I want to make this perfectly clear real fast because people misconstrue when I say this. Only a small percentage of men can actually pull this off where they have multiple girls. Most guys are going to have to be monogamous.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep it a stack. Most men have to be monogamous. Most men cannot afford, or most women will not tolerate a polygamous man if his value is not high enough. The key is he needs to be in a position where he's such a rare commodity and such a top tier guy that the woman has no choice but to accept him.
So I would say every woman has a choice. And even for me personally, it's a respect thing. I'm pretty open-minded, but even if it was my favorite celebrity who came up to me and said like, hey baby, like if you're with me, then I'm going to be with other girls and you can't be with other guys. I would say I'm not going to sell my value.
With all due respect,
nope.
I'm going to have to stop you right there because here's the thing. One thing I've learned, because I study women a lot, read a lot of books on you guys, whatever. Emotions dictate your guys' actions. You say this right now, 2020 hindsight on a podcast, knowing that none of these celebrities are going to come and approach you. But if you were in LA at some coffee shop and I don't know, fucking Jake Gyllenhaal walked up to you and said, "Hey,
I love Jake Gyllenhaal."
Exactly.
You just scored
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Jake Gyllenhaal,
how he makes you feel in that moment. Because
I'll do it for you.
There you go. Women, women's actions are ruled by emotions. So it's easy for you to sit here in this podcast and say, "Oh no, I wouldn't share them. That's disrespectful." But when it happens to you, it's something completely different.
I don't think a man will value me if I don't value myself. So I don't believe that he would keep me around if I let him do whatever he wanted. And I don't think it's my job to let him do anything or not. I think he should want to respect my wishes.
I mean, that sounds great on paper, but that's not the way the world works.
It's not a real world.